I think it's safe to say we're going to see another full Nintendo Direct by the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff that Nintendo has to talk about, and there's a lot of stuff coming to the Switch that obviously needs to be showcased a little bit. I think some people expected there to be some more Nintendo Switch related stuff in the Smash Brothers Direct that just happened, myself included, but obviously Smash Brothers is the big cash cow for Nintendo Switch owners this holiday season. But a new Nintendo Direct rumor has just popped up, and these seem to pop up all the time. Sometimes we talk about them on the channel, sometimes we don't. But I saw one thing in this Nintendo Direct rumor that kind of stuck out to me because it's something I've heard sort of in inner circles, but I haven't really seen anyone else outside of the inner circles really talking about this one thing. So I thought, what the hell? Some of you guys sent me over this information. You wanted me to talk about it, so that's what we'll do. I'm not saying that this is necessarily true. I'm not saying that this will come to fruition, but that one little thing does sort of stick out to me. So I thought it'll be fun to go over this list, discuss it, see what's real and see what's potentially not. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about this latest Nintendo Direct rumor and why it might be true.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards!
Alright, so this rumor emanates from 4chan, which we see a lot of rumors emanate from 4chan. There's been some that were completely spot on from 4chan, some that were completely off basis, like the one that we had talking about a Nintendo Direct on a Sunday, because, you know, that's gonna happen on a Sunday. But this Nintendo Direct rumor seems to be sort of rooted in reality. There's a lot of things that I could sort of see happening, so I thought it'd be fun to go over. To start things off, it says, okay, let me get this over with. A ton of Direct leaks will appear. Wrong Dark Souls release date just debunks it. There's no Direct in September besides an online Direct in September. A Nindies Direct will happen this month, being August. A Switch Direct will happen in November, and a 3DS Mini Direct in October. Now let's get this started with this Direct. P.S. It's a big Direct to end the year off. So I think a lot of people are expecting there to be a Nindies Direct this month. There's a lot of games that we need updates on. Games like The Messenger, games like Morphe's Law, things like that, things that were supposed to already come out or already be coming out that we haven't heard about. Obviously the 3DS is still doing things for Nintendo, so they will talk about it. I do think it's interesting that this is not slated until November though. That seems a bit late. I would have thought this would have been in August, or excuse me, in October or something like that, you know, to sort of kick off the end of the year. November does seem a bit late, but I guess it is what it is. Alright, so it starts off saying that a new Smash trailer to introduce Chorus Kids is showcased, then Amiibo Wave 1 and 2 are announced. Wave 1 is Inkling, Ridley, Wolf, 2 is Snake, Daisy, Chrom, Pichu. Wave 1 launches day 1, Wave 2 launches in February 2019. Chorus Kids, that's kind of interesting. Obviously, they're from Rhythm Heaven. I don't know if that franchise is really big enough to make a lot of people excited, but that is something that I have heard that Chorus Kids could be introduced into this game. So, I don't know. I guess that's somewhat feasible. Pokemon Let's Go gets a new trailer and a little more news. Obviously, Pokemon Let's Go is a big game for Nintendo. If this happens in the beginning of November, like it says in the month of November, it does make sense to show off Pokemon Let's Go, give some more details about it, show off the different bundles that are going to be with it, and sort of get hype up about that game. The next game is something interesting though. Chibi Robo Plugged with a 2019 release. A lot of people seem to think that Chibi Robo is dead after the latest 3DS game that didn't really sell all that well, but I actually enjoyed that game. I thought it was pretty fun. There was definitely some aspects of it that I did not like, such as like the wheel at the end to pick your level. I thought that was really stupid, but I think Chibi Robo is an interesting enough character to where they can give him another chance and see if he does well. Next, Reggie announces SNES Remix launching on Nintendo Switch, available December 4th. Obviously, NES Remix was very popular both on the 3DS and the Wii U. A lot of people liked going back to those games and having them, you know, sort of remix different characters in different levels, sort of like ROM hacks and stuff like that. I definitely think that SNES Remix makes sense to be put on the Nintendo Switch. NES Remix was very successful, so why not sort of continue that? Obviously, SNES games are not all that taxing to sort of do sprite hacks and things like that in that nature, so definitely something I would like to see, and if it comes out in December, definitely a cool little goodie for Nintendo Switch owners. This game will have a release date by now, Team Sonic Racing, December 14th. Now, I think Team Sonic Racing looks like a pretty fun game. It's obviously a kart racing game featuring Sonic characters. It's supposed to come out this year. I believe it's only going to be $40. We've seen some gameplay from it. Looks like a pretty fun little experience, so December 14th, to show off that game on the Switch makes sense. I think that game will sell very well on the Switch because kart racers tend to do well on Nintendo platforms. Diablo 3 is confirmed for Nintendo Switch 2019 release. We've heard that Blizzard is trying to expand Diablo. They're trying to do more things with Diablo. There, of course, have been little teases about Diablo 3 coming to the Nintendo Switch. We had that little Diablo Switch thing that popped up on Twitter that was supposedly completely inadvertent and just something funny that they thought of. But I think Diablo 3 makes sense on the Switch, and I definitely think it's something that will end up coming to the Switch. So once again, this sort of makes sense. Daemon X Machina story trailer launching January 25th. I definitely expect this game to be an early year release for the Nintendo Switch. I think it's a really cool looking game from what we saw at E3 this year. Definitely one of my anticipated games for 2019. So I could definitely foresee that being a thing. They obviously want to hype up this game. It is a Nintendo Switch exclusive. So January does make sense for a release date for that. So I could sort of see that being a true thing. Travis Strikes Again is launching on November 30th. Now, Travis Strikes Again is, of course, in the No More Heroes line of games. That game is supposed to release this year. It was showcased a while ago for the Nintendo Switch. We haven't really seen much from it since then, but I definitely think that that's a good launch time for the game. It's definitely, hopefully, going to come out this year. So once again, that sort of makes sense, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of that game because I think it could be really cool. Bayonetta 3 finally gets footage with a release date of summer 2019. I think that sort of makes sense. It's definitely time to showcase a little bit of Bayonetta 3. I expect that game to come out before Metroid Prime 4. That's obviously going to be a big Switch exclusive for the year of 2019. So it's time to sort of start showing that game off. A November showcase of it does make sense. Obviously, Bayonetta is a pretty cool franchise. So I'm looking forward to seeing that if this rumor is indeed true. Yoshi Flipside gameplay trailer launching April 2019. Obviously, Yoshi was supposed to be a 2018 release. It got delayed for whatever reason, and we haven't really heard a whole hell of a lot about it. Obviously, Nintendo is working pretty hard on this game, and it will be interesting to see the final product with this game. Once again, a springtime April release does make sense. Nintendo obviously has been releasing sort of smaller Nintendo Switch games in the start of the year. We saw that this past year with games like Kirby and Mario Tennis Aces, so April release makes sense for me. Wonderful 101 port coming on November 13th. I don't know how I feel about that. That sort of seems a bit out of left field. I haven't heard anything about Wonderful 101 getting a port. I guess if they plan on doing a Wonderful 102 or a sequel to this game, that might sort of make sense. It's definitely one of those games that's sort of stuck on the Wii U, a game that didn't really sell all that well, even though a lot of people really enjoyed it. So I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. Now, this is the one thing that sort of stuck out to me that said, okay, maybe this person knows what they're talking about, because this is a rumor that I have heard in many inner circles, something that is evidently being worked on, but I haven't really heard anyone outside of inner circles talking about it. And this person says that a new Super Mario Brothers collection will be launching early in 2019 for the Nintendo Switch. And I have heard a lot of rumors about a new Super Mario Brothers game coming to the Nintendo Switch that is a port. So a collection of games sort of makes sense to me, and it's definitely something that I think is very feasible. It's something I feel is being worked on and that I think we can expect to see whenever Nintendo's next Direct is. So that sort of stuck out to me. That's why I wanted to talk about this, because I haven't heard many people talk about it. So an early release in 2019, that would be really cool. I think people would really like that. Obviously, Mario games sell well, and to have a collection, you know, depending on what's the collection, could be really cool for people. Mario Tennis Aces gets DLC, then a teaser to Super Mario Baseball releasing in 2019. Obviously, Nintendo is supporting a lot of their first-party games well beyond the initial release of it. I could definitely see more DLC coming to Mario Tennis Aces, probably in the realm of free DLC like you've been seeing with games like Kirby and things like that. So that sort of makes sense to me. Super Mario Baseball, Mario Sluggers was an awesome game on the GameCube, so I would be totally cool with that. I always enjoy Mario sports games. I think they're pretty fun. You know, throw in some online multiplayer and you can have a good time. Isabelle is confirmed for Smash as an Echo. Okay, that's cool. People like Isabelle and Animal Crossing, you know, whatever. Tomodachi World is confirmed for Nintendo Switch, launching November 27th. Now, Tomodachi sold really well. Tomodachi Life sold really well on the 3DS. It was actually a surprise hit. I remember playing that game. I had some fun with it. You know, definitely not a standard type of game, but a game that I think would work well on the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, this game hasn't been talked about. It's kind of a smaller release. Nintendo supposedly has surprises still in 2018 for the Switch. So I think it's a game that makes sense as sort of a surprise announcement. Doom Eternal gets a trailer for Switch with the launch of 2019 still. Obviously, Doom Eternal is supposed to be a day one release alongside of the PS4 and the Xbox One game, a massive third-party game. I think people want to see, video of the Switch version, so I could definitely foresee that being a reality. Overwatch is now confirmed for Switch. It was supposed to be announced at E3, but it's not. Launching December 11th. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I've heard a lot of rumors that Overwatch was coming to the Switch. Obviously, if games like Paladins are running pretty well on the Switch, Overwatch should be able to handle it pretty easily. And Overwatch is a very popular game. Seems a bit out of left field to be still coming out this year, but it's something I could foresee possibly being true. Final Fantasy 15 gets a trailer for the Switch. Trust me, it's not good graphics, launching in 2019. Obviously, Square is pretty much going all in on the Nintendo Switch after the success of Project Octopath. This is something that we've heard for a long time, that Final Fantasy 15 could potentially be coming to the Nintendo Switch. I don't think it's smart to think it's going to look as good as the PS4 or the Xbox One versions of the game, but I think it will be better than the chibi style that was available on mobile stuff. That would have been pretty cool in my opinion. I don't think that game is really a game that would do bad on the Nintendo Switch. I think people would want to check it out who didn't own a PS4 or an Xbox One, so I would be cool with that. Warframe is launching today for free, and Fortnite Save the World is also launching on Nintendo Switch today. Of course, Warframe is supposed to be a 2018 release. They've done this before. They did it with Fortnite during E3, where they said, hey, Fortnite's coming to the Switch, and it's available now, so go download it. It's sort of what they like to do with these free-to-play online games, so I could definitely foresee that being a reality. Fire Emblem Three Houses gets a gameplay trailer May 2019. Shin Megami Tensei 5 May 2019. Obviously, Fire Emblem is a game that is going to come out in 2019. They talked about it during E3. The game looks absolutely fantastic. Shin Megami Tensei, we haven't really heard about that. We know that it is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Would be a bit weird to launch both of those games in May. Obviously, Shin Megami Tensei is an Atlas game, so it's not a first-party Nintendo Switch title, but it would be kind of weird to launch both of those games in the month of May, but I guess if that's what Atlas wants to do, they can do that. Star Fox Switch, Animal Crossing Switch is confirmed, no name, 2019 release. I kind of foresee that being a reality. I think it's time to start talking about Animal Crossing. Obviously, it's a very hot game, a very hot commodity. If you look at sales figures for Animal Crossing, it always sells well. We've heard a lot of rumors about this Star Fox racing game, and I was really expecting to see it at E3. I think a lot of people were, and a Nintendo Direct maybe makes a bit more sense to showcase that off, especially with people sort of being sour on Star Fox after Star Fox Wii U, which was a game I didn't hate, but, I could see why people didn't like that game. Mother 3 is confirmed, title for US, Earthbound Endings 2019. Unless Glenn Danzig is starring in this, Mother, tell your children not to walk my ways, because I love that song. I think it's a great song. You guys know I'm not the hugest Earthbound fan in the world. I think this would be a huge deal, but to me, this sort of seems like something that would be done at E3. They obviously did Earthbound Beginnings at E3 when that came out on the Wii U. I think that's kind of a big thing to announce because I do know that the Mother franchise is very popular with Nintendo fans, so I don't really know how I feel about that being in just a Nintendo Direct. Paper Mario Switch is also confirmed 2019. I think that a Paper Mario game will come to the Nintendo Switch. There's been a Paper Mario game pretty much on every platform since Paper Mario became a thing, so Color Splash wasn't a bad game. I thought it was actually pretty fun, so I'm definitely looking forward to more Paper Mario. If they do announce it, that would be super cool in my opinion. Pikmin 4 is fully announced, releasing early 2019. You're starting to see a lot of early 2019 release dates with this, so if this direct rumor is true, it's going to be a very stacked 2019. Pikmin 4 is obviously something that Shigeru Miyamoto has talked about. It's obviously something that has been worked on, so I think it's time to showcase this game. Supposedly it's nearly done and they've just been kind of sitting on it, so definitely Pikmin. It's not a franchise that I've ever really gotten into, but I know that there's a lot of people that do enjoy it, so that would be a cool time to showcase it off. Ends with a new teaser to Metroid Prime 4 showing Samus and Ridley, then the logo. Obviously Metroid Prime 4 is a huge game for the Nintendo Switch. People want information about it, a good little teaser to end things off, and something that I think people would be into. Fully ends off with a trailer to Rayman and Smash, then adds Chorus Kids, Isabelle, and Rayman to the art. P.S. This can be changed anytime. It's August, this is November. These are just plans. Now, Rayman and Smash makes perfect sense to me. You have to look at the working relationship between Ubisoft and Nintendo right now. It is pretty damn strong. Obviously, the Star Fox and Starlink stuff really shows that Nintendo and Ubisoft are working well together. The Mario and Rabbids game. Rayman makes perfect sense to me. It's a character that a lot of people like. Got to start back on the Jaguar. An absolutely amazing game. And I would like to see Rayman in Smash. I think he's a good character, a very fun character. So that would be a good way to end this direct. in total, I think there's some things that could definitely be true. Like I said, the new Super Mario Brothers collection really stuck out to me because that's something I've been hearing about for a while now, and the fact that someone outside of sort of inner circles is talking about it sort of lends me to believe this is true. I'm still not sold on the Mother 3 thing. I don't think Mother 3 is ever going to come to the Switch, but maybe it will. I know a lot of people would enjoy that, but Nintendo just seems kind of weird on that. At least it wouldn't be announced in just sort of a Nintendo Direct to end the year. I think that a lot of these Direct rumors are filled with sort of false things to sort of throw people off. Maybe the Final Fantasy 15 Switch thing is a false thing as well, but I do think that there's some interesting things in here, some things that are true, and some things that will end up coming to fruition. Now, whether or not this person is just a very good guesser or they actually know something, I'll leave that up to you to figure out, because, you know, it's tough to say. You never really know with these things. They could just be off the wall, or they could actually know something. So I just wanted to talk about it. A lot of you guys were hitting me up about it. I thought it'd be a fun discussion piece, so let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this latest Nintendo Direct rumor, what you think is true, what you think is not true. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for checking out the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.